John, we're back.
We are back, Lee.
It's been
so long.
It's been a time.
It must have been about a month or something like that.
It's been a couple of months.
It's been
about two.
2 months? Jeez.
I think the last one we did was like February.
Has it really been that long ago?
Yeah, we kind of got sidetracked a bit. We've been busy boys.
We have been very busy.
Busy boys.
We really have.
Look this up.
Got so much that we have to catch up on. In fact, we thought that this particular episode where we're coming back, we thought it would be a nice idea to just to recap what's been going on in our lives, but also what's been going on, I think, generally.
This episode's called My Friend John Experiences Hiatus for the first time.
That's true, yes. But
3 months ago, apparently, according to YouTube.
3 months, bloody
Yeah.
hell. God, that's a long time. But people, our adoring fans,
Yes.
the legions and legions of them. There'll be
All two of yous.
all two of you. Thank you. You've stuck with us.
25th of February, 2022.
That is
So
a while.
actually, on the day of recording, it's just past 3 months.
Wow, God, that is a long time. That is such a long time. But no, we are back. We thought we'd just I will be in fact, I have watched Scott Pilgrim in that time. You'll
Yes.
be pleased to know, and we will be covering it on the next episode.
'Cause that's what I said to watch like 2 months. The day after we recorded that, I was like, I'll watch Scott Pilgrim, get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
That's how long it's
I know it's been so long. It's just been a time, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah, between that, we've filmed a documentary.
We have filmed a documentary.
So you've got the DVD of Scott Pilgrim after the documentary.
Yes.
The wrap.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the documentary. Yeah, which was a great experience.
Yeah.
We filmed. Yeah, so Lee and I and amongst some other very good friends of ours who are in the filmmaking game, shall we say. We shot a documentary. Well, I co-directed a documentary called I should know what it's called.
Reading the Rocks.
Reading the Rocks, of course. Reading the Rocks, which was about the artistic and scientific landscape of Blast Beach in Siam.
Yes.
And we worked with a wonderful company called Edan. Met some incredible people talking about their views on the pollution of the place, how it's like its natural beauty has sort of been ruined, but it's also claiming itself. If you're from the same area, you'll kind of know already about Blast Beach and things like that. I'm just plugging the documentary at this point.
Yeah.
But we met some lovely people who are local artists and saw some of their artwork and how they particularly see the beach. And I interviewed a lot of them, and it was just a wonderful, lovely experience. And so the documentary is going to get screened again, I think, in the summer.
Oh, nice.
At another exhibition somewhere, which is great. But it's also going to be used as, I think, educational tools at Durham University.
Once it's out officially, I'll post a link on our Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Well, if anyone is at all interested in it, it hopefully will be there somewhere to view. But
Yeah.
that was like the main one of the main things, isn't it?
Yeah, then you got very busy at work.
I did. Work started ramping up.
Show season.
It was literally like the spring show season at Northern Stage. So we had some great shows there about Red Ellen, which was one of the big shows that we had, which was I was going to say the musical. It was a musical. No, it wasn't. A show about Ellen Wilkinson, who was the MP for Jarrow, which is great because in the 1930s, because I'm from Jarrow, if anyone's interested. An incredible woman. She met Albert Einstein in his safe house in Belgium. She went over to Nazi Germany and fraternized with Russian spies. The woman was incredible, and she was I hope this information is correct, which was what I'm about to say, but if not, if anyone can be bothered, please correct me. But I believe she was the first female education secretary.
No, right.
I think she was, and that's when Labour got into power under Clement Attlee's government in the 40s. But yeah, incredible. There was a bunch of others like The White Card, which was great. That was a show about white privilege and sort of having the uncomfortable conversations around that, which was a great show, which is now on tour, if anyone's interested in seeing it across the country. I'm just plugging Northern Stage again. But the biggest thing we had, which was the Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
The BBC Comedy Festival, which was fantastic, and that took up a lot of the time, and it was very full on. So we had the BBC comedy section want for a better word, come into Northern Stage, and we had all sorts of things on. We had loads of industry professionals there, who were promoting things like workshops for how to get into comedy writing, how to conceive an idea of a show, how to like raise money and things like that, like all the standard like networking stuff that never ever works and you're wasted time going to see. Do you like networking events?
No, I'm crap at talking to people.
Yeah, well,
I'm terrible talking to strangers. I get stranger danger. I'm in my 30s. I still get stranger danger.
I suppose. But like nothing, you get nothing out of them.
No,
it's like you get absolutely nothing out of them, and they all tell you the same thing. They're like, "We're here to help you get into work, but you can't do it unless you're this, and this."
Yeah, I went to a couple after uni and just
That's so
you need
pointless.
this experience. Cool. Can you sort me out with this experience? Nah. All right. Well,
It's like, well, what's the point then? It's like the reason why we are all here is because none of us have experience, and we need that. And it's like, well, you can get that experience if you pay a fortune to go into this degree thing.
yeah.
Which you're not even guaranteed to get work at the end because it's the creative industries. It's all about who you know. It's not about what qualifications you have. We know that. I mean, the reason why, recently, Lee you got work purely because of like people that you know.
Yeah.
That
guy who used to go with uni. Jack, love you.
Yes, we love you, Jack.
He contacted me about doing some sound for a short film he was doing up here.
Yeah.
And with his contacts everywhere, like in London and stuff, because he works down London, he's worked on lots of different shows.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the only sound guy new in the Northeast.
Yeah, well, you literally are. It's like it's the reason why we asked you to. Well, when we were shooting our short film, which seems like eons ago, which we'll get to in a second. You are literally the only sound person that we know, and on the days that you couldn't be there through no fault of your own, Will, our producer, love you, Will. He had to do sound.
Yeah.
And he hates doing sound. He absolutely
no one
hates
likes
it.
doing sound.
No, because it's a terrible job.
I love it. It's great.
It's a really difficult job, which I have, the utmost respect for. So the comedy, Stephen Merchant was there.
Yep.
Incredibly tall man, absolute giant of a human being. And he was there promoting the premiere for the second season of Outlaws.
Right.
Which I've not seen.
No.
Haven't seen Outlaws season 1, but Christopher Walken's in it. Which is mental. I'm like, and he was talking about how like all the budget went on getting Christopher Walken.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like to come over to star in this BBC comedy. And
that's all you need. You just have Christopher Walken, no one else, and there you go.
Literally,
that's a show.
It's just like, "Hi, Stephen, I'm here to do this show. It's really good." Yeah, and we were like wondering it because it was like a proper red carpet event.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Like Stephen, like as I say, Stephen Merchant was there and all the rest of the cast members and all that. Walked past me, gave me a little smile. Thought Stephen, legend. And he was lovely to the audience. We had like an invited audience in and people who could buy tickets to watch. They were showing the first episode of season 2 of Outlaws, which was quite good. Yeah, it was. It got a really good reaction from the crowd, which was great. And yeah, it was a really good event. Frankie Boyle was there in a separate event. Charlie Brooker, Ramesh Ranganathan was there as well. Really, I didn't get to speak to them per se, but I saw them on stage and like backstage and things like that, and which was cool. Very manic though. The bar, bless them, never stopped. Jamie, if you're listening to this, you'll know that you never stopped on that bar, as well as everyone else who was with you. But yeah, it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. That took up a lot of time.
Just remind me of Charlie Brooker when I went to see him. When me and Tom went to see him in London, we was doing a talk.
Yeah.
Someone asked him about the pig fucking thing.
Yeah.
He's like, "Did you know in advance?" He was like, "If I knew that in advance, I would not have made a Poxy TV show about it. I would have been shouting it down the street."
Oh no! Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, but there's gonna be another season of Black Mirror.
Yes.
I don't know if he's got anything to do with that, but because didn't he like sell the rights to Netflix or something?
I think so.
Yeah, but I don't know if he. I still don't know if Charlie Brooker is involved in the writing of that show. And obviously, he created the whole thing, so you would imagine that he would still be involved in it. I think he would be, but I don't know. We'll see. But are you a fan of Black Mirror?
Yeah, I like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen every single episode. I remember when it first came out, it was just a thing that everyone was like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's mental.
I didn't watch it for a while because I didn't have Netflix for a while, but
yeah.
To be fair, I'm getting rid of Netflix soon, I think.
Do you think?
Yeah, everything's gone. Like,
Yeah, that's
they
true.
spent all the budget this year probably on Stranger Things.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
into the link of like how long the episodes are.
Well, they're making like 7 films or
It's
something.
like 9 movies worth.
Yeah, they're all.
The last one's 3 hours long.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is it 3 hours?
I don't know. I
That's
mean, by the
insane.
time this is out, it'll be on.
Yeah.
At least the first part will be on. But like,
Yeah.
it's like hours. It's like, yeah, it's like 12, 15 hours worth of thing for a series. And it's like,
That's ridiculous.
I don't know if I'm going to get through it.
No,
That's
I mean,
kind of one of the reasons I was keeping it. That and Umbrella Academy when that comes out eventually. But
we're in a strange time now, aren't we? Since we now, since it's now okay, I guess at that point in we're now at that point in culture where we can release 4-hour films, and it's just okay. I mean, I guess it's like, I suppose we should be thankful that people have that freedom to sort of like, because what will have happened was someone will have pitched in Stranger Things and gone, right, this next season they're all going to be really long episodes to the point of them being film length.
you're going to see them age.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
still start this when they were kids. I think they've filmed it for years.
Jesus Christ. What, like this season?
Must have, because that's a lot of work for like
Children.
well, say
Well, like young people, I suppose.
children. I think they're in the 20s now.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
early 20s.
Well, when did Stranger Things start?
2016, 15?
I've still not seen a single episode of it.
Maybe not.
Nah, and I think I ought to.
Well, that's my friend John episode ready to go.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I'll genuinely enjoy that actually. Yeah, if you get me to watch Stranger Things, I'll give my full
I might do
opinion.
it soon then and keep up with the Stranger Things. Like,
Yeah, well, hey, that'd be quite timely, I suppose, when it comes
Yeah.
out. I'll watch like the first season or something, or
2016. Oh, yeah, I was right.
yeah.
But yeah, first season great. Second season, I forgot more. Then third season, I forgot more of that. Really,
Yeah, yeah.
should have been a one and done to be honest. But like,
Do you think?
yeah, but it was that popular. Of course, it's going to have a season. I mean, Squid Game's getting another season. That was supposed to be one and done.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, like, because
I know left on a cliffhanger anyway, and it still made no sense at the end. But like, it was supposed to be a one and done.
know,
I think they added that at the end.
but
just
it
to be like-
warrants. But it warrants. I mean, I suppose you could do Squid Game.
it could warrant like a film or like
I'll make a
like
film.
a short or something. Just wrap everything up. But another season's a bit.
Yeah, I do have to. Just a side note. You might hear me coughing and spluttering during this episode. I don't have COVID.
John's a liar.
It's a bit cold season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've just got a bit of a sniffle, but I am fine nonetheless. But yeah, so like, get me to watch like season 1 of Stranger Things. I'll watch that.
Yeah, I might do that soon then.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Breaks up the weeb shit.
It does a little bit, yeah. It does. Weeb fatigue might set in. But that's interesting when you say like one and done things. If you think like obviously Stranger Things should have been a one and done thing.
That's what I think anyway.
Well, true.
But it's not everyone's opinion, but
Is it a hot take or is that a generally shared opinion?
honestly, I don't see many people saying it.
Yeah.
Like, it might be a hot take. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, did Stranger Things? Well, I suppose. Actually, no, I won't ask you that question. I'll watch it.
What are you going to say if it ended on a cliffhanger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we know that obviously Squid Game ends on a cliffhanger, and I know
Yeah.
that he said that he has no plans to. Well, he's not. The
He
creator,
didn't have a plan.
He didn't have a plan to do a second season because he said honestly it was the most stressful experience of his life.
And Netflix like, more.
Yeah.
More!
More, please.
And now he's
Um,
making a series that's taking the piss out of how popular Squid Game got.
That's so funny. That's so like.
Which I get, because like Squid Game is very like anti-capitalism like
Yeah.
thing, and now it's one of the most popular shows. Probably made a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that was the thing about Squid Game is I excuse me. I did enjoy Squid Game.
It's like capitalism things where people are like, ooh, funny show.
Yeah, but it's like that's the thing. It's like it kind of goes over people's heads a little bit, even though that I feel like the anti-capitalist sentiments are very on the nose.
Yeah.
To the point where people can't really miss them, and I feel like that's. And I feel like that's a strange thing. Real talk here. I think I think it's a strange thing about today. In our relationship with storytelling, because, I remember, talking to a friend of mine, about like these really great films which came out in the past, And when you watch like a particular sequence, I can't remember what it was. I mean, it was the example that I brought up was this film where Harrison Ford is playing a gentleman who gets integrated into an Amish family, and I can't remember what the film's called.
Doesn't ring a bell.
But it came out in the 80s or the 70s
Right.
or something like that. And there's a bit where he clearly has a lustful desire over this woman, this Amish woman, and there's this entire sequence that I remember watching. I got shown this by Nicholas Glean, our
Yeah.
the father
Our
of
mentor.
our mentor. He showed us this sequence, and he said it's a perfect example of visual storytelling, of of Harrison Ford sitting outside, clearly in sexual turmoil because he fancies this Amish woman, and she walks past the window, goes upstairs, and starts to get changed because she's going in the shower, and he watches her from behind. And like, because there's those are close up shots of like washing her skin and like touching herself, and not in that way, but like in a standard way.
Standard touching yourself.
Standard touching yourself. It's another one for the quote book. But he's like behind the doorway looking at you, and it's like, oh, he's a creep. He's full of desire, and she turns around and goes, like, oh, it's you, sort of thing. And it's like, but I'm not repulsed by it. And then he looks down because he's not going to come in, and then she turns around, and I was like, oh, okay, so you think you know what it is. But then we watched it again, right? And when she walks past the window when he's outside, if you blinking you'll miss it, but she looks at him. She goes, because she knows that he's watched. So she is goading, like she's saying to him, all right then, come on then, come upstairs and have fun with me or whatever. It's like she's playing on his desires. So I'm like, immediately it's changed. And my friend said, but is that not bad because you didn't catch it the first time? And I said, no.
Subtle things are good.
Subtle thing, exactly, because it gives you a reason. It's two things. One, it gives you a reason to watch it again and deconstruct a piece of art, which immediately ups the value of the art, in my opinion. And secondly, it encourages thinking.
It's really funny that you mentioned that, because 2 episodes time, the film I'm going to watch has some very subtle things in it which I watched on a second time, which I wouldn't have picked up on, which I wanted to talk about.
Well, I probably didn't catch on to it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to
But I knew the story, so I picked them up because of the second time.
Yes, I'm looking forward to you telling me about these.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like, but I said that's the beauty of really good films, because, or like, of storytelling, because it gives you a reason to look back on it again and rethink about it, and and oh my god, it wasn't this, it was actually this, and it's room for interpretation, and it encourages critical thinking. It encourages you to use your brain and think more deeply about stuff.
Now you think of that, and you just tell me about now, like, this is going from like Game of Thrones and a couple of Marvel TV series, where people predict what's going on, and the writers are like, oh no, shit, we've got to do something different. It's like, that's good storytelling if you can predict the beats.
Exactly, like it's good storytelling. Exactly, that's the point. It's like, it's not like, because what is it now? Is it like, oh, gotcha?
Yeah,
oh,
gotcha. It's not
twist.
that.
It's like, it's not that. It's something else. It's like, right, so the story doesn't make any sense now because it's just a series of like gotchas.
I played a game, Final Fantasy 14, at the end of last year, and I was playing through the story, and I was like, okay, I think this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Everything happened, but not in the way I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
The things I thought, like, oh, I'm going to have to fight this person's going to become a friend or whatever, and I was like, that's definitely what's going to happen. And it happened, but a completely different way that I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Because like, you can predict the story beats, like, oh, this is how it's going to go, and then it ends up being, yeah, but like different.
But different, exactly. And that's the
Still
thing.
catches you off guard.
And that's exactly it. It's good when that happens. It's like, because people, I think, are like, oh, cliches are bad.
Oh, tropes are great.
Tropes are great because they work, and it's like, to bring up Nicholas Glean again. One thing that he said, which always stuck with me, which was when you're writing a show, or when you're writing a film, or writing a story in general, right? If you're fresh to writing, and he said a reason why a lot of like student films suck, is because they are so desperate to avoid the cliche. They're so desperate to do something different and unique, but they don't know how to do it, so they end up making stuff that just doesn't make sense.
I spent half my uni years on TV tropes. Every time I watch something, I want a TV trope. So
yeah, exactly. And it's like because you want to understand how they work. And
it's still a habit of mine. If I watch something new and I'm really into it, I normally first thing I do is like TV tropes.
TV tropes.
Go
exactly.
down the list.
But that's a good thing that's a good thing that you can recognize them, because like Nick was saying, you have to understand how the cliche works.
Yeah.
You have to understand how to construct a cliche and how to execute a cliche and like how to work it into your story, because if you know how to do a cliche, you know how to avoid them.
Yeah.
And but you have to know, it's like you have to know the basics first before you do any of that stuff, because like, you know, jumping around stuff is not like or changing it just because fans might predict it is like that's not, you're right, it's not good storytelling.
It's just gotchas.
And like that like, you know, you're deconstructing it, like you're just devaluing your story, and it's like that's the reason why these stories works, is because they're structures that have worked for so long, you know. So but that being said, subtle stuff, and when we're saying about subtle stuff, it's like they are so like valuable, because one of the things that sort of annoyed me a little bit about Squid Game is how on the nose everything was.
Yeah.
Because it was like, but I feel like we'll have to do that now all of a sudden, because people are so stupid to not understand subtle stuff. And like, because you don't have to do something that's so on the nose to like just for mass appeal, you know. And it's like, you know, or like so you can like put on like all these memes and fan arts and stuff like that, you know, like, which is what it's all for. And it's like the anti-capitalist stuff is like, oh, they're all gonna kill each other in the night because they've realized that it doesn't matter how someone dies,
as long as they're dead.
As long as they're dead, there'll be more money. And it's like, okay, so everyone starts killing each other. It's like, oh, it's because like that's what capitalism does to people. It's like, oh, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and like it'll literally stamp on someone else just to get ahead.
But then again, one thing Squid Game did that I didn't expect was like when they were like, oh, at the start, everyone decided if you want to stay or go, and then they just left. That was something was a bit.
That is the one thing that yes, I will agree. That is the one thing that I'll give it props for. It's like, no, they actually did decide to go.
And then they decided, I need to go back.
Yeah, because my life is really bad. And it's like that to me, that's the real.
That was the best bit.
That's
like,
the best
story
critique of capitalism. Yeah. The this is what real life is like. It's really shit for people, and this is what it does. It's like gambling. Like encourages you to if you're susceptible to that way of thinking, or that you're susceptible to that illness, which is what it is.
Yeah.
Then this is what will happen to you. You know. Which is the real criticism. I think I hated one thing that I did hate was like the rich fat cats at the end.
Oh yeah,
horrific. Like the acting was terrible, the dialogue was terrible, and I'm like, this is like, it's so on the nose of like, oh, these are the people who are really running everything. It's I think
it was kind of like, especially for the dialogue, was probably people. It was a Korean writer who probably just kind of Google Translate into English for people that
maybe maybe. I get that.
Oh yeah, you watched it all dubbed, didn't you?
I did watch it all dubbed.
The English people were speaking English.
It was horrific.
It was their actual voices. I would probably thought they wouldn't have dubbed that.
Terrible. It was really awful. Like you know, so if I end up watching it again, which
it might happen.
It might happen. I don't think I'll rule it out watching Squid Game again, but I'll watch it with the Korean dub. I mean, whether in the original Korean dub, in the original Korean voice, and then with the subtitles and stuff. Because I don't mind subtitles, I can read that. But speaking of which, actually, I got told recently by my friend, our friend Jamie, to watch. He was saying, "I can't believe you've not seen these two shows because they are so up your alley, and so your thing." Dark, which is on Netflix, which is like a German, science fiction
Never heard of Dark.
drama.
Yeah.
So he said Dark, that's on Netflix, and you can watch the whole thing. It's great. He said it's so good. Please watch it. You'll love it. And the other one was Mr. Robot, which is on Amazon Prime, I think.
I watched a couple episodes of the first season of it.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things where, like, if my partner gets a bit like it and doesn't get into it, we stop watching.
You stop watching it, yeah.
So it's hard for me to find time to watch it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mr. Robot was good. It's Rami Malek, isn't it?
Rami Malek, yeah. So those some things I'll have to watch as well at some point, which I don't know. They may be my friend John episodes.
Yeah.
But you know, that was my annoyance with Squid Game, is that it was like we've kind of lost the ability to tell nuanced stories. And I don't know if it's society getting dumber, or if it's writers either not knowing how to do it, or they've just given up. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's, you know.
I think being unsubtle is popular.
Yeah.
It's not because of society, it's because it's how it's happening. I mean,
it's how it's happened.
The grossest selling films are now Marvel films, and they're about as subtle as a brick.
There's no nuance to Marvel films. It's like, I mean, have you seen...
They're great to watch.
They're good fun. They are good fun. I can't deny that. I mean, that's another thing. Some films came out in that time. Yeah. In the time in our break. I mean, have you seen...
I'm going to say no to most of these.
Okay. You seen Doctor Strange?
Not yet.
Oh, it's an interesting one. It's Sam Raimi's back directing that. And I was quite surprised. I quite enjoyed it. It's still a Marvel film. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but there's some moments in it where you're like, whoa, goodness me, did not expect that. That's all I'll say on that.
I can tell you some things I finally saw throughout the time.
Yes.
So I finally saw Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Ah, yes. What did you think?
Really enjoyed it.
Good.
I kind of knew all the spoilers already because it's the internet. You can't get away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Good Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
Did like the part where Osborn said, "I'm something of a scientist myself." I burst out laughing.
Yeah.
Because it's a stupid meme.
Because it just became meme city. Yeah. At one point.
Saw Shang-Chi.
Yes.
The most Marvel film.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it. I know you didn't like it.
I hated every second of it.
Really enjoyed it, and I think it's because it wasn't Marvel. You could just release that film as something else. Apart from fucking Trev.
Trevor, he was the highlight of that film.
But yeah, it was a good film.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it as a standalone thing. I just didn't think it needed. Although I do think Benedict Wong is the new Samuel Jackson. Nearly every other film he comes in now, he's like, I need you.
We need to do something. He is. Yes, that's true. Actually, yeah.
He's the new
Wong is now the new recruiter. Yeah. Of these whole things. He has some good moments, mind I will say, in Doctor Strange, the new one.
Yeah.
There's some moments where I'm like, he may as well have shouted, "I'm not dead yet." You know.
I love that Benedict Wong managed to get a character name with his own name.
I know it's just very so
good for him.
Straightforward, isn't it? Yeah, I hated Shang-Chi. Just from a storytelling point of view, it made no. Did you not think it made no sense for him to want to kill his dad?
I just enjoyed it, to be honest. I'm gonna admit, I kind of switched off my brain and just watched it.
That's fair. That's fair enough, because I mean that's the thing. If that's for me, that's the main thing that these films provide.
A lot of things I can watch and critically think of it, and other times I can just switch off my brain, and that was one of the times.
Yeah, that's true. I think that is the main appeal of the Marvel films now. I mean, they are just harmless entertainment, which I think is totally warranted. You know,
which is funny because the TV series are not. Because I would have said like two Captain America boys.
Yeah,
had a very lot of political themes in it.
It did. It seemed to actually have like some actual attempts of genuine storytelling and like
the great scene in that is when
I really enjoyed
when Falcon and Winter Soldier are having a argument outside, and the police are like, "Is this guy bothering you?"
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he's like, "No, he's not bothering me. Do you not know who he is?" And it's like, I quite enjoyed that bit. I mean, obviously, it's obvious what it is.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't on the nose at all as well. But
it wasn't. It wasn't too on the nose because it was like it wasn't like a thing that was just thrown in there for the sake of it.
Yeah,
it did
make sense.
It made sense in the context of the story, because that's what kind of that's what I did. That's what I really liked about Captain America. Captain America and the Falcon, I guess.
Yeah.
No, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There we are. Falcon who becomes Captain America. That's why it's my favourite out of all of the ones that I've seen. Because I've seen WandaVision. I thought WandaVision totally wasted potential. I thought it just devolved.
It should have kept the sitcom for a lot longer before it went real.
Well, it was unique. It was unique and it was different. And
I think people watch it. I think they got a test on and people were like, "What?" So like, okay, shit, we need real life stuff going in the middle.
Yeah, but I was like, it's a cop out though. I think it's such a cop out. It's like, no, just commit to your ideas, and just be different, Don't listen to. That's what I mean. Like, don't listen to people who whinge. Yeah.
What just finished?
Just commit to it. Moon Knight finished.
Moon Knight finished. Yeah, Moon Knight was good.
I still haven't seen Moon Knight. I really like to say it because Moon Knight's one of my favorite characters.
I don't know how you'll feel about the character because it's a bit different. I would have said from what little I know from comics, but there's some really good bits in it.
I don't mind if. Yeah. I'm not one of those purists. I don't mind if things are different from the source material, as long as it makes sense in the context of that story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, if they're like totally different characters, you may as well call it a different character. Like Doctor Doom in Fan Stick in the Josh Trank film. Like
I didn't even bother with Fan Stick.
I eventually watched it about a year ago or something, because it's on Netflix, which is mental. So, and I had nothing to do one day, and I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna give this film a bash. I'm gonna actually say what it's like, and holy shit, it's really terrible. It's really bad.
Wasn't it? There's like really obvious reshoots.
Oh, like that movie. Like the behind the scenes are more interesting than the movie. Like it's just a bland, uninteresting, unentertaining, terrible film. And like the worst bit of it is the way they treat Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom is single-handedly the most interesting. Well, he's just the best villain that Marvel has. I don't give a shit about Thanos. Right?
Yeah.
Doctor Doom is the villain. He is Marvel's best villain ever. Right. And the way they treat him in the movies is just I mean, the ones from 2005 and 2007 wasted potential. And the Josh Trank one, that wasn't even Doctor Doom.
I think Fantastic Four is just cursed.
And it's a shame, because I don't feel like it's difficult to get wrong, like to get right. Like it seems like there should be. Like, put it this way: if I would make it, I feel like I would know how to make a decent Fantastic Four film, or at least I'd give it a try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but we'll see what it's like in the MCU. You know, we'll see what happens. That mightn't be far away. If you watch Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, you'll know what I'm referring to. But but yeah, like but yeah, the Marvel shows are quite different, because like they tend to they try to go a bit like different. Character, like different in character. Yeah, like Winter Soldier and Falcon, I thought this is what Marvel should try to be more of, really, because it's like, what I loved about it was it didn't sacrifice story for like mindless action and entertainment and stuff like that. Like the whole thing about what's his face, Sam Wilson, Falcon. It's like, yeah, it's great that Captain America, like Steve Rogers, wants him to be the next Captain America.
Yeah.
Because of who he is as a person. It's like, no, you are the best person to take on this role. And the whole thing about Sam like going, I don't think I'm good enough. But it's also deeper than that. It's because like he's a black man in America.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you can't, especially today, it's like unfortunately, you can't really ignore that as a topic. And they kind of leaned into it like a lot, you know? And it's like when he meets like the guy who was the black Captain America in the past, and he's like, this country
did him dirty.
Like, did me dirty because of who I am, you know? And it's like, and the whole thing is like, it's just Sam coming to terms with that, but he's also coming to terms with himself, you know, and that whole thing, and Zemo was fantastic as well. But that bit when he does become Captain America, and you know, and he's like, you know, I'm a black man wearing the flag, and you know, some people are gonna always hate me for that, and they'll never understand that. That's fine, but I'm here to show you what I liked about Sam, that character. He was saying, I know this is what the country ultimately sees me as, and I can't change that, and this is, for some people, what America will always be, but I'm here to show you this is what we can be. Yeah. Moving forward, this is what we can be, you know. And I thought there's something quite inspiring about that, you know, and that's why I really like that show, because it tried to be intelligent. Loki was fine.
Yeah, Loki was fine.
Loki was fine. Like, it's fine. Yeah, but I've not seen any of the more recent ones. I've not seen Hawkeye yet. I've not seen.
I'm about halfway through Hawkeye. I've been watching my father-in-law, just getting. When we get the chance to watch it.
Yeah, is it any good? Is it?
Yeah, it's been alright. I think we've only got like a couple episodes left.
Yeah. Oh, you coming up?
Cats.
So the cat has just appeared, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. But yeah. No, that's been stuff that's got. Have you seen The Batman?
I haven't seen The Batman yet.
The Batman, very good. I was a massive fan of it. I've had debates with some people about it. A friend of ours, Max, who is a Batman purist, although he has said that he'd like to watch it again. He wasn't a huge fan of it. But that's just because of some of the character portrait, and I understand what he means. I think, I think there's a case there. Will Smith wasn't a huge fan of it, which I thought was really interesting, mainly because of how they portrayed Catwoman's character. Like, apparently she didn't really have a character. I understand the argument. I'll have to watch it again. I think I'll have to watch it again. But I thought it was a very refreshing take on the character of Bruce Wayne and Batman. I think it's very much worth a watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay, I barely get time to go to the cinema these days.
Yeah. Saw it at the Everyman Cinema.
Yeah. I mean,
great experience.
I've got that little needy thing there, my dog, who
Bailey.
does not like to be alone, so it's harder to go.
That's true, yeah. And until the day when we can bring animals into cinemas, that'll be a different experience. Now Bailey was very excited to see me, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I came in today.
Yeah, but now cinema, I'll just wait till it comes out and stream or whatever. I'm not too bothered now. I think the FOMO of seeing stuff straight away has kind of washed over me a bit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I suppose as time goes on, but no, it's Oh, and of course, I just remembered. Speaking of Will Smith.
Yeah. Oh, the Oscars, right?
The slap that happened as well. God, that sent the world.
I think the last episode we did, we were talking about Oscar predictions.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I think that is true, isn't it? But no, I don't think anyone predicted that happening. I've heard some flack about that as well. People were more concerned about that than the actual. I think there's a school shooting happened, or some tragic event happened in America at the same time, and that got more media coverage than the actual shootings, like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Yep, well, it happened yesterday as well.
There was one that happened at the time of recording.
Yeah, so there was a shooting that happened.
Yeah.
There was a lot of corruption in our own government that happened.
Oh my god!
And do you know what was trending on Twitter?
What?
The fucking Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. That was the top.
Oh man. Yeah.
Again, a celebrity thing when two bad things are happening, real world consequences.
Yeah.
Celebrity thing.
Because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because we know that really has no consequence. It's like we like to say that Will Smith slapping Chris Rock is another great example of toxic masculinity manifesting itself, and this is a massive issue and stuff, and we're portraying.
So it's a fucking school shooting.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because it's normally mostly dudes.
Because it's and it's this is what happens blackmail aggression and things like that, and and then things like Amber Heard is the perfect example of why the Me Too movement was poisonous for women's cases, because now they believe they can just say anything, and there's no evidence to suggest that Johnny Depp's a thing, and it's we all like to pretend that it's these things that are important, which they are, but also these people will be fine. Of course Will Smith's not going to get his Oscar taken off him. Yeah. He's going to be fine.
They still give him the nonsense, so
Exactly. It's if they're going to give it to Roman Polanski, and Woody Allen, then they're not going to take it off Will Smith. I mean, yes, he's been banned from attending the ceremony for 10 years, but he's got the Oscar. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He was Chris
Rock.
Rock.
Many. Yeah. Does he have many?
Many what?
Oscars, Will Smith.
This was his first Oscar.
That was his first Oscar.
Yeah, this was his first
Oscar.
Oscar.
He's got it now.
He's got it. He doesn't need another one. It's he will be fine. Chris Rock will be fine.
He'll still be a movie. Still make his millions.
Yeah, Johnny Depp will be fine. Amber Heard, unfortunately, will be fine. All these people will be fucking fine, and it doesn't make a difference. We like to pretend that it's that. Oh, it's important to cover these events because they have moral or social accolades issues attached to them. They may very well do, yes, right? But at the end of the day, it's all celebrity circus entertainment for the masses. We watch them because it's funny and it's entertaining. It's oh my god, a celebrity trial. Oh my god, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. all the memes and like things that have been created from all this stuff, it's like because it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's because it's entertainment. Well, meanwhile, like we're saying there's been a school shooting. You know, there's been like, you know, a series of like children who have been killed because they have messed up laws when it comes to firearms. You know, and we allow like these people who are like domestic terrorists to, you know, get access to stuff. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Well,
you know, and that's more like the war in Ukraine, like is now like, oh, that's been going on. When actually that was the last podcast episode, wasn't it? Where like
I think it started, yeah.
The war had literally started, and now it's kind of becoming like not unimportant news, but it's becoming less like prevalent news because it's been going on for so long. And that's the danger with stuff. It's
24 news cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's becoming saturated now. And it's like stuff like this that really has real life consequences where ordinary people have lost their lives. And Ukraine is now becoming a fucking a post-apocalyptic landscape. You know, why aren't we talking about it still? This is crazy. Like Vladimir Putin, why is he still in power? You know, it's insane.
He's been in power for like 20 odd years.
Oh, he's been in power for so long. But I think we spoke about that last time, I think. And yeah, Partygate, that's still going on. You know, Boris Johnson, a very corrupt, devilish man, you know, but you know, God,
that's one way to put it.
God love him. Cartoonish, devilish man. That's what he is. But no.
It's been a hell of a couple of months.
It has been a couple of months, but we are back.
Yes.
You know,
I've started streaming.
You have started streaming.
It was fun. Yeah. And then Elden Ring came out, and I didn't want to stream Elden Ring.
No.
So I spent about a month playing that straight.
Yeah.
Really good.
Really good fun?
I didn't expect to love it so much as I did.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
This is the one that George R. R. Martin had a hand in writing.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
So he did I think he just did the story beats and stuff like that, and then he did it years ago, fucked off, and they've been development since.
Yeah. He did
Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, that's it. Yeah. Because I'm thinking of Tolkien. He did Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw a rap battle on online of Tolkien versus George R. R. Martin, because they've got similar names. But no, yeah. I have to be honest, I didn't see any of those streams, but I'm sure
I streamed at random times.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing them more often, especially when everything's done. Like, my house is a shit tip right now. Downstairs is pulled apart. We pulled apart our living room.
That was another big thing as well.
It's still apart.
Renovating your house.
Yeah.
Massively.
The office is getting a bit more renovated.
Yeah.
Because my partner's starting to do like drawing and Etsy stuff, so she wants a bit more of a space to do it. Mm-hmm. So this bit's getting a little bit more renovation, getting a new desk and stuff like that. Mm. So both are going to be using it a lot more. Mm. And I'll set up my streaming space a bit more.
Marvellous.
Cool. And once that's through, we'll be sorting.
Yeah. So we can't predict that there's going to be a constant stream of episodes, but nonetheless we're back.
Yeah. And
we're going to try and do it for the two people who watch us.
It's as good as times I need to get back and talk.
I suppose it is. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. But that being said, here we are, and we're back. You know, and it's Scott Pilgrim that's next, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Finally going to be watching Scott. Well, I have already seen it, and I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
So
let's do it. Yeah. Okay, we'll do it in a week's time though.